everyone, welcome to Set Up and Score. It's nice to have you here. My name is Leigh. I'm the head of customer success at ScoreApp. And in this session today, we are going to cover creating a scorecard, and that's from developing a concept to building the scorecard and then launching it at the end as well. So we're just letting people in at the moment. But if you're able to just pop in the chat while we're just letting everyone in the stage where you're currently at, that would be really useful for me to get a really good feel for where everyone is. So it may be that you've not started, that you are building at the moment. It may be that you've finished or that you've actually launched. We're going to cover relevant material at each of those stages. But if you're able to put a little bit in the chat, that would be great. Hi, Rob. Hi, Rich. You've made a draft scorecard and you're about to launch it. Brilliant. So good opportunity to, maybe make some tweaks to that as well. Hi, Nup. Nice to see you again. I know you're definitely in the process of building, so I hope this will be very useful. So Rob, you're just starting for now and still thinking about the topic. Great. So we're going to start with that. We're going to start covering the concept first. Okay. So, I've got another one. Hi, Gwyneth. I started a scorecard before realizing that the questions weren't appropriate for the purpose I had in mind. Yeah. So it all needs to come together. So we can help with that. Hi, Allegra. You've launched a scorecard allowing organizations to work out how they're doing with diversity and inclusion. You included the link. That's brilliant, because I will be asking actually if anyone's willing to share their links when we get to look at the landing page. So if you're happy, we can bring that up then. Okay, so let's just jump. I'm just going to share my screen. And before, I haven't mentioned that I've got Sarah with me. So myself and Sarah work on our support team. And if you've got any questions which you want to ask in the chat, please feel free to do so. Jump in and ask questions to myself if you'd like to. And also at the end, we'll have some time left for questions as well. Okay, so sharing my screen. So we haven't got very many slides, but it's just useful just to get us started. So talking about some potential use cases for scorecards. So within each of our packages, you get multiple scorecards. So the start is 5, the advanced is pro, the advanced is 15, and then you go upwards for the other packages. And primarily, scorecards can be used for lead generation purposes. And they can be different based on the target audience, whether they're warm or cold, for example. You can also use scorecards to qualify leads, so onboard customers as well, and then benchmark customers. So we have some customers of our own at the moment who use it with their existing customers to make sure that they're getting the most of their products and services, for example. Now, ScoreApp does primarily 4 things, and these are the elements that we're going to be covering. So we're going to be talking about the landing pages and best practice for those. We're going to be talking about questions, number of questions, scoring them, and then that will flow into creating a results page and utilizing dynamic content and getting all your call to actions in there. And then once we've covered that, we'll talk about promoting and following up. I often get asked what makes a successful scorecard, and I wanted to talk about those items. So we've got those as top of mind as we go through. But the concept, which is where we're going to start, is really important. So, and that leads into the second point. It needs to offer mutual value. So not just the value in your benefit from generating the leads and getting all that great data, it needs to offer value for your target audience, so that when they arrive at your scorecard, it's like, oh, this is perfect, this is exactly what I need, or this sounds really relevant, a really useful tool where they can gain some clarity. Once you've created that mutual value exchange scorecard, the benefit is really then using the data to personalize and tailor the way that you follow up with people. It allows you to get to the crux of their problems, their desires, and therefore you can make the way that you communicate with them going forward more relevant and personalized. Once you've done all that, you need a great strategy to drive traffic towards the scorecard. So you've created it, you've just got to tell people about it. And then it's the follow-up process. So you've generated loads of leads, and now you need to convert them into sales. So starting at the concept. So this is obviously what the idea of the scorecard is based on, and it may be different to the headline. So the headline then needs to be a real hook, communicate exactly what it is, how it's going to help them, and who it's for as well. So we've got some ideas for concepts. And the first one is to base it on that desire or goal. So you know your target audience really well. You know what the thing is that you're helping them to achieve, that they want to achieve. So, for example, if I was a health and fitness coach, one of my target audience's main desires may be to get in shape. So therefore, I could develop the Health Get Fit scorecard. So it says exactly what it does. We know who it's for. And it can just be sometimes as simple as packaging that desire and goal and putting scorecard, putting quiz on the end. And in terms of that terminology, we tend to use scorecard. But there's loads of other sort of names, so quiz, assessment, checklist, and it's really choosing the one that you think is going to resonate most with your target audience. So we've got some other ideas on the screen there. You can see the key person of influence scorecard, where that desire is to be that key person of influence. You've got that high performing team scorecard. And then the beach ready scorecard and the good parenting scorecard, which is definitely one that I need. On the flip side of that, you could base it on the pain or the frustration. So it's just a slightly different way of, getting that into the hook to capture your target audience attention. So you've got the avoid being hacked scorecard, fitness injury prevention, weight gain. So the weight gain prevention scorecard, it's going to do a very similar to the Get Fit scorecard. It's just a different way of captivating the attention of your audience. The third technique is asking the question, and this applies to a lot of, so if you're sort of sat there trying to think of inspiration for yours, then I'd recommend trying this. So it's, are you ready to XXX? And it would be to fill in the blanks. So, for example, are you ready to run a marathon? Using my health and fitness example, are you ready to get in shape? Take the scorecard. Are you ready to sell your business? So you can see how that one can be applied and worked for a variety of different concepts. Topical or seasonal, you may find that again, you just see an opportunity to produce a scorecard. It could be to support an event. It could be to promote a guest speaker. It may be that there's something trending or newsworthy, such as, one of the big ones recently has been the growth of AI. Are you ready for AI? Take the scorecard. So, and obviously relevant to your particular business, but there's use cases for just things that will support topical or seasonal launches. And then the very last one is, if you don't want to deliver necessarily a score to your scorecard takers, it could be that you want to deliver an outcome or a personality style. So it could be, you can achieve that on ScoreApp and set up a higher scoring category or personality style quiz. So the example I've got what kind of event planner are you? Discover your budgeting personality style. And we actually have a template for that one. And you'd find out whether you're going to be an organized budgeter, a relaxed budgeter. And then you can offer some advice that are relevant to each of those particular styles. And I can go through how to set that up on the platform once we dive in and start building. So I was just talking about AI, and that brings me nicely into the fact that we have integrated AI into ScoreApp. So we've got a AI setup wizard. We launched it officially a few weeks ago, and this is a great help for developing ideas for your concept. It gives you a great starting point to build your quiz, and I'm going to demo that AI setup wizard next. But at this stage, before we delve into that, if anyone is happy to share with me their ideas for their concepts in the chat, that would be really useful. Just bear with me a second. Great. So if you've got a scorecard already and you've built it, you might just be able to just write your headline in the chat. We've got one from Rich. Are you ready to unlock your entrepreneurial potential? Yep, I like that one. Yeah, I really like that one. Sometimes as well, I've seen that in Discover Your Entrepreneur, it's a difficult word to say, that one, isn't it? Entrepreneurial style. That one always, so saying it and spelling it always requires a little bit more effort. So yep, that's a good concept. Thanks for that, sharing that, Rich. Rob, take the property investment pathfinder quiz. Yep, I like that one. So property investment, we see a lot of, you know, are you ready for property investment? The property investment checklist, make sure you've got everything. You know, are you ready to grow your property investment portfolio? Unlock your brand potential. Hi, Gwyneth again. So yep, that's fantastic. Unlock your brand's potential, you know, discover your brand strength score, discover your brand impact score. So there's lots of opportunities there. So patience, hi, harness your introvert strength. Yes. So harness your introvert strength. So that's quite niche, just because it's going to obviously appeal to people that already identify as introverts. So maybe that one, obviously, want to understand more about what you do, but you could be broadened it out, you know, discover if you're an introvert or an extrovert, potentially. Find the revenue leaks in your business. Yep. Are you ready to discover the revenue leaks in your business? So it could work with the are you ready to? Yeah. So rock your sales this year. Yeah. So the are you ready to rock your sales in 2023? That could definitely work as a concept as well. Brilliant. So there's some fantastic concepts there. Brilliant. Thanks for sharing those. We've got one more. So Andrea, provide a way to find off-market properties. There are 17 times more likely to sell in the next, but I'm coming up blank for a headline or hook. Okay. So we might come back to that one at the end, but please remind me, because then I can show you in addition how to use ChatGPT. So if the setup wizard, I'd always recommend going through the setup wizard, and then if you want that extra sort of boost with ideas, then we can definitely leverage ChatGPT as well. Right, so going back to share my screen, we're going to delve into the platform now. And we are coming here. So it may be that some of you who have started have already come to this point. If you haven't started yet, these are the options that you're presented with. So you can, in terms of creating your first scorecard, you can start from scratch. You can pick a template, or you can use the AI setup wizard. I'd recommend starting from scratch if you've got a really clear concept. You have got your own questions, and that might be, for some customers, they've got a methodology such as the 4 Ps or the 5 Cs, and it is unique. Then I would recommend starting from scratch. I would advise having a look at the templates that are on offer as well, because it may be, and we've just had loads more that we've added here, it may be that one closely correlates with your concept, and in which case, and you like the design, that can be the most time-effective way to progress your first scorecard. Then if you're wanting help with your concept, writing your questions, writing the results page, then I would recommend using the AI setup wizard. So if we click on Get Started, you can see these three options again, where you can choose your primary goal for the scorecard. So I'm going to click on Generate New Leads to demo this to you. You can then choose whether you want to have one overall score. So that can be quite suitable if you're appealing to cold leads. So they'll just get a score at the end, and then you can provide some feedback based on which score tier they fell into. So it makes it more straightforward, an easier sort of route in. Single outcome. So if you want to do the personality or the highest scoring category, you choose that one. Or you can choose multiple scores. So that would give them an overall score as well as a score in particular categories. So this is the one that I'm going to choose today. It then asks you to describe your business. So I'm going to be a health coach. How would you describe your target audience? Just for this purpose, I'm going to choose new mums. And what do you help your clients to improve? So it gives you some options. You can click on more suggestions. You can actually even enter your own if it doesn't come up. So I'm just going to choose physical activity routine. It will then go on to suggest some concepts. And what it suggests is generally really, really strong. So you can again click on more suggestions, and this is what it will use for a headline. So new mum fitness quiz. It says what it is, the ultimate new mum workout quiz. I think it probably needs to be stronger than that. And that might be where the secondary or the sub-headline comes in. Get fit and fabulous after baby. I'm going to choose that one. I would combine that with, take the quiz once I'm building the landing page. So once I've selected my concept, it's going to ask me to pick some categories. So I'm just going to pick 2 just for this purpose of demoing. We'll then click on next, and it will even suggest questions then for you to select. You could at this stage just select them all, because I can then, when we go through building it, you can edit them, delete them, add to them. So this just gives you a really good place to start. So I'm just going to add 2 from each. But again, what it suggests is really good and a really good starting point. Just waiting for the next category question. So can you find 30 minutes in your day to exercise? I'm going to add that one. Do you struggle to find time for yourself? Do you have a set schedule for your daily tasks? So I'm going to add those, and then I'm going to click on next, and then it gives you my summary. So I can click on create my scorecard. So you can see how quick. Obviously you're going to take a lot longer. Maybe I'll talk about number of questions, but it is generally a very quick process. I can then go to my dashboard, which will show me now I've got this scorecard within my account, and we're going to go through and edit it and optimize it. So the main place we're going to do that is under the builder, which is the icon of the pencil and ruler. That opens up the list of items that we can edit. And I'm going to start looking at the landing page. So if I click on the square box with the arrow pointing out, it launches the landing page. So it's inputted the heading that I chose during the AI setup process. The AI also chooses a relevant image, but all of this can be customized and branded. So we're going to talk through how to do this. You will be assigned a URL, which is generally your account name and some code, but this can be customized as well. So if I just show you where to do that before we delve into the landing page. So if you go to settings for that, under general, if you're on the starter package, you can update the initial section of the URL before .scoreapp.com. If you're on the advanced package upwards, you can also have the option of a custom domain name should you wish to. And for that, you would just go to your account and choose domain. If anyone's got any questions or needs help with that, just let me know when we come towards the end. But that's the URL that you will share, that you will use to drive traffic towards the scorecard. Okay, so landing page wise, let's go and click again on the editor. And the first section in the list is the header. So that will be hidden. If you click on the eye, you can unhide it. And this would be the area where you'd upload your logo. So if you click on it, you will notice that the formatting options open up and you can click to upload your logo from your files. You'll also notice that you've got a style section as well. So if you click on that, you can make that logo bigger, smaller, position it left, right, or center. You can actually even position it inside that first section so that it flows really nicely as well. So my advice would be, once you've clicked on that section, just have a look at all the available formatting options. Now, the main banner section, it chooses a particular style, but if you go to add a section, you can see that we've actually got a number of different banner styles that you could select from. And it may be that you've got a great image that you want to use that would work perfectly in a landscape position and you want to choose that first one. So I would advise you to go through all of the available sections, select the sections that you want, and they'll then all drop into your template. So you're starting to build a structure. And once you hover over that particular section, you will see some dots, and then you can drag and drop them into different positions as well. If we click on, for example, this main banner, you can see that you can update the heading, you can update the content, you've got images where you can upload it from your own library, or you can search free images. We actually even have, if you click on the funnel, you can even change it to icons and search for icons as well. So you've got the color options will always sit under style here. So you can change the background color, you can enter your own hex code. Orange was not a good color to change it to, nor was that one. They're all too bright in there, but hopefully you get the idea. You can squeeze the margins, top and bottom. So it's lots of different options available there. So we just need to save it and then come out. So that's how to build it. Now we want to talk about best practice and what to include on it. And for that, I'm just going to take you to our website, scoreapp.com. And I'm going to take you to product and made with ScoreApp, because on this page, we've got a showcase of scorecard examples, which can be great inspiration. So they might not be necessarily the same concept as yours, but in terms of creating a landing page and what to include on it, this can be a great place for inspiration. So I'm just going to pick one. So the scale up and exit business assessment, to show you. So this looks great and it's got some great content in it. So first of all, headline is really important. So this one's called the Scale Up and Exit Business Assessment, and the headlines, are you looking to grow, exit, or sell your business? So it's clear how it's going to help them. Find out if your business is ready to scale rapidly and achieve a successful exit. So subheading, then we've got the time investment. So it takes just 4 minutes, and it also includes what we can expect. You'll receive an instant PDF report containing valuable advice tailored to your situation. So there's a lot of value already created just in that heading, the subheading, and that description. This then includes a section of brands that they're trusted by, which adds to the credibility. So not only is someone gone, right, this sounds great, this sounds what I need, they know that it's come from a credible source. It also showcases the PDF. So it brings to life the value in taking the scorecard, because they can see what they're going to receive at the end. And then we've got content sections such as, how does it work? So we're telling them the number of questions. We're linking it to our background and why we've built this tool. talking about what they can expect. And then this is really important, this section here, because this is the ultimate benefit of taking the scorecard. So complete this assessment and you will instantly see how you scored. You'll also receive valuable insights to improve your ability to scale rapidly, increase your cash flow, profit, valuation, and successfully exit. So that's coming back to that, making sure it delivers value, make sure it's based on a common desire or goal from your target audience. And that is ultimate. Yes, they want to sell their business, they want to make sure it's ready, but that ultimate desire or goal is to increase their profit, get that great valuation, and successfully exit. So bringing that content out into the landing page is my advice, and it really starts to build that value with your target audience. This one then goes on to talk about the categories that people are going to be scored against. And then it's got more information about who they are. And I'd always advise linking it to who you are, but why you've created this tool. So, hi, I'm Leigh from ScoreApp. I've got 4 years experience in helping people to build high converting scorecards. And I have developed this tool to share my expertise with the community. So that would be an example. Other things that you could also include on a landing page are any bonuses. So if, we have lots of customers who have books, and it may be that you take the scorecard and you can receive a book or a chapter of the book or tickets to an event, or it may be that you're leading them to join a community, for example. You could put that on the landing page. What I would recommend avoiding is being too sales focused on the landing page, because it's all about the value. The opportunity to present what you can do and how you can help comes later on in the results page. But this is a tool that offers value to them, and that's what we want to sort of communicate on the landing page. Lovely. So if I'm just going to bring up the chat, does anybody, I'm going to go back to that example if that's okay. And then if anyone else wants me to have a look at their landing page as well, then I can do so. Just if you could pop the link in the chat. Okay, so this is allowing organizations to work out how they're doing with diversity and inclusion. Okay. So we've got the inclusion journey quiz. This quiz will help you understand where you're starting from on your journey to building an inclusive organization in just 3 minutes. So it's clear what it does. I think that headline, I think you could use some of that headline, sub-headline in the main headline. So, are you ready to discover where you are on your inclusivity journey? Or it could be, discover your inclusivity organization score. So it's got that hook, is making people think, well, is my organization, how am I doing? I think that would work well for the headline, something along that lines. When you say, people also like to discover their score, so I think linking that they're going to get a score in the headline can work really nicely. You have got the time investment, so you've got just 3 minutes here. Our inclusion journey tool takes a holistic look at your organization using 6 pillars. So that is starting to introduce credibility, and that you've got this methodology. So I like that. Identify your key areas of opportunity to focus on your inclusion strategy. And then you've got your journey. At Watch This Space, we use 6 pillars to assess your diversity. Easy to find to help you create a presence, enable you to harness. This quiz will provide an introductory overview of your areas for opportunity in each. Okay, let's have a look. So this is a little bit, now we're talking about the benefit. So diverse and inclusive teams are more innovative, more productive, more engaged. So you could put a heading on here, is like, why is this important? That would be quite nice. It's a tool to help you get started. Yeah, so I like this bit here. you'll score in the following areas. So we've got those 6 pillars, and then we've got the final call to action. So we've got another call to action down here. So for me, I think it looks really nice. I would recommend just brainstorming that headline slightly. This bit here, I felt like may be better to have the section where we're talking about the ultimate prizes first, and then kind of work this into, you know, who we are, why we've created it. So we go from why is this important to, you know, why we've created this tool. But it looks really, really good. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing that one. I hope that feedback has been useful. Okay, so we've got Rich. I'm just going to open up one more. So I can see you've used the AI here, which is great. Are you ready to unlock your true potential? Answer 18 questions in just a few minutes, and I'll send you a personalized report. Most of us achieve success while only accessing a fraction of our skills from the outside. Many may think you have the perfect life, and yet you may often feel. Take this quiz to receive value on unlocking your true and live a more productive and fulfilled life. Okay. You may be a business owner, planning a new business, or looking to add more value for the company you work in. The 3 keys to unlocking: having a healthy past, being more present. So I love this concept for when we create a scorecard, because I think it really does. There's a lot of people that definitely would resonate with. I think when I first read it, are you ready to unlock your true potential? I'm not sure if that was in a work sense or in a personal sense. So obviously I read on and I've got more of a sense of what it's for. But if the headline and the subheadline could work harder, and there was something here that I really liked. So unlocking and live a more productive and fulfilled life. So maybe there's some potential in that for the headline. I'm just trying to brainstorm myself. And actually, this might be a good opportunity just to showcase ChatGPT. So once you've got to this stage with the AI builder, if we entered this into ChatGPT, so I'm building a quiz, and the current landing page content is as follows. So I'm just going to paste that in. And then I'm going to just say, could you please provide some alternative headlines and introductory copy that would clearly define who the quiz is for and how it's going to help them. So let's just see what it does with that. So discover your untapped potential. That's nice. A journey towards a fulfilled life. So that's really nice as well. Unearth the treasure of your dormant skills and abilities with this 8-question quiz. Our bespoke report will help you understand where you stand, the hidden potential that you possess, and the steps you can take to experience growth and fulfillment. Yeah, whether you're a business owner, a budding entrepreneur, or an employee. So it's continuing, unleash your hidden power, find success in all facets of life. So yeah, that would be my advice, to kind of use ChatGPT and just get that headline. So it really, when people get there, they're like, yeah, this is going to be really useful. Your path to potential. So clever, isn't it? Okay, so I'll leave that sort of there so we can move on. But yeah, once you've got that sort of heading, you've got your subheading, it's really going to come down to the design and jumping into the platform. For example, this bit is probably too much content to go with that image. I appreciate you've probably just used the wizard and haven't got to that stage. So I would go in and look at a banner style with nice imagery, adding sections so it's not all in one section, and then going through some of the checklists that I gave you sort of earlier with the, who are you, why you've created it, and making sure you've got all those aspects in there as well. Okay, fab. Right, so that is the landing page. Let's go back to now the builder. And the next area I want to talk about is questions. So you can see it's inputted the categories I selected during the AI setup process and the questions. Now I can add questions and I can edit and I can delete the questions as well. What the AI builder will do is it will put in yes, no questions. And it may be that once you get to this stage, you think, actually, I want to put in a multiple choice question, or I think that question would work really nicely on a scale of 1 to 5. So if you go to add question, you can see that there are different question formats. The easiest question for someone to answer is a yes, no question, if you keep it factual. And it may not be that yes is always the positive answer. You might want to, throw in there a reverse kind of psychology option, but it may also be that just adding a few different question formats really helps to keep your scorecard user engaged as well. In terms of how the scoring works, yes, no, maybe, you can just assign a point for the positive answer. For example, do you sleep more than 8 hours a night? Yes, you get a point. No, you don't get anything. When it comes to the scale questions, you can make that scale however big you'd like it to be. So on a 1 to 10 scale, for example, there's 10 points available, and wherever the user places themselves on that scale is how many points they've achieved out of 10. And then on multiple choice questions, you can have your answer labels. And if you said, for example, how many hours sleep a night do you get a night, and someone selected over 8, they're going to get the top score, so they're going to get 2. If someone selected between 6 and 8, I'm going to give them a point. And if someone said less than 6, well, they don't get any points. So it's in the strength of the answer there. You've also got, so multiple choice buttons are great because once they click on that answer button, they get taken straight to the next question. Whereas if you use multiple choice radio buttons, the person taking the quiz will have to put a tick almost, or just select in the box next to the answer option and then click on next. But that might be more suitable if you've got longer answer options. So it's more like, how you want them presented, I think. Multiple choice checkboxes is the right question to use if you want someone to pick more than one answer from the list. So if how many of the following apply to you, tick all that apply, you can add all your different answer options and they can pick more than one. So that's the right question format. And then you've also got open text. So if you just want to include some questions where you just want to gather more data, it's not a scored question, but that would be the correct format for that. Okay, so they're all the different question formats that you can use. In terms of number of questions, we recommend fewer questions if you're targeting a cold audience. So around 8 to 12 questions would be recommended in less than a few minutes. If you're appealing to a warmer audience, then we recommend around 25 questions. And then if you're using it with existing customers, there is really no limit. It just is, in line with the data that you'd like to sort of collect from your customers as well. Now, the scoring, if you're interested in how the scoring works, it will add up the total amount of points that are available overall and per category. So the sleep schedule, if I had 10 points available here and the person taking it scored 5, it's going to convert it into a percentage. So 5 out of 10 is going to be converted to 50%, and it's going to decide what score tier it falls into based on the ranges that are set under results and score tiers. when you come here, these are default ranges, and they tend to work really well because it's just 100% broken down into thirds. We've got that traffic light system, so red, amber, and green to indicate low, medium, and high. But you can change those. You can add tiers. It may be that you've got a fourth. You may want to label low as, you know, high burnout risk, for example. So you can change the labels as well and the ranges. And that leads nicely into delivering the results. So we've added our questions, we understand how they're going to be scored, and then we need to deliver that result. So I'm going to go to results pages. Just going to leave the page here. If you use the AI setup wizard, you will have a results page already done for you in your results page section. So what it will have done, it will have selected the overall score content here. Now, this is static, so you do have the ability, you can toggle on this section here, and you can make it, you could tailor it based on whether they scored low, medium, and high overall if you wanted to. So that's just going to optimize it further, and you can acknowledge that they've scored really well, so congratulations. But equally, you might want to keep this bit static as well. So best practice is to make it dynamic where you can, if you feel that it's going to add more value to the user. Sometimes, like when we looked at the landing page, the particular banner style it presented, there are other options. So if we go to add a section here, with paying particular attention to results section and the overall score, you can see that actually there's quite a variety of different ways of presenting that overall score. So spider diagram would look like this. We've also got speedometers, thermometers, traffic lights. If you haven't got categories, you know, that top section just displaying the percentage might be the most relevant section for you. So have a look, see how you want to present that overall score. If you want to change that section, add that section. Then you can move it up. So I want to replace it with the radar chart. I can drag and drop it up into position, and then I can copy and paste the content into this new section, should I want to. You can also then hide or remove sections just by either clicking on the eye to hide it or on the dustbin to remove that particular section as well. It will then input some content for each of your categories. Again, have a little look before you settle on the different formatting styles for your categories. If you wanted to include an icon, you could choose that third option there. If you want them sitting side by side, you could choose that middle option. But what the AI setup wizard will do is it will make your category scores dynamic, which is great. So when I click on low, you know, it acknowledges, it says, based on your score, it seems you may not be getting enough sleep. Whereas if I score medium, your sleep schedule could use some improvement. And if I score high, it's congratulations on your high score. So it's that tailored, personalized approach. And then I always recommend acknowledging their score, describing the importance of the category, and then giving them some hints and tips to think about that's going to help them improve their score. And obviously it's going to be different. If somebody scored low for sleep, the advice that I'm going to give them is different to someone who scored high, because then I'm going to be giving them next level advice. So you can see how you can add that tailored approach there. So the AI setup wizard, hopefully it's given you a really good start, but my advice would always be to go in there, review it, and add your sort of input, your creativity, your methodology, just to really add even more value to what it delivers. Your results page, you'll also want to feature your call to action. So if we go to add a section again, you will, if I click on call to actions, there are lots of different styles. A lot of our customers will offer a discovery session following the scorecard, and you can pick any of these sections here, and the button link box, you can pop your Calendly link there, so someone will be able to go and book in a call. But it may be that you want to push someone towards joining your community or to a particular resource. Or you may want to feature, a couple of call to actions, which you can just add the relevant section and add the link to as well. So would anyone be happy for me to just jump in and have a look at their results page? Let's just have a quick look. We do have some of the examples from earlier. Or let me show you this one just quickly, actually, while I'm here. So you can see this one here. We've got some overall score here. So this isn't dynamic, it's all static. We've got the categories, we've got the donut chart. We've added a call to action section up at the top in this case, and then we've gone into depth on each one of the categories. So we've described, this is all dynamic here. So it's low, medium, and high versions. We've got the description, we've got the actions based on their score. So this is delivering a lot of content here, and you can see that's the same for each of those categories. Now, this is actually on the longer end in terms of how much to deliver. And then we've got the final call to action here as well. So don't feel like, you have to write that much content. As a guide, we generally see content maybe up to the end of that problem section, but you can make this as big and as small as you'd like it to be as well. So that's the results page. You may, if you're on the advanced package, you may also have the PDF feature. So on the starter package, the output that the scorecard taker receives is this results page. So this is what they see immediately after they finish the questions. And the ScoreApp platform will then fire off an email with a link back to it, so they get to keep it and refer back to it. If you're on the advanced package, they will still receive that results page, which you could make more of a snapshot, because then you could develop your PDF, which will then be emailed to them. So if we just quickly show you this PDF report, and we start without a template in this case. When we go to add a page, you can kind of get a sense of the layout styles that you could adopt. So you choose a front cover, which you can completely customize and brand. Then we have general content pages, which would suit an introduction and an outro page. You can delve into showcasing them their overall score and what that means, followed by a summary of all their category scores. And then you can delve into each individual category, and you might have 2 pages for each category that describes it, that gives them some really detailed hints or tips. And again, this could be as detailed or basic as you'd like it to be. You've got your call to actions, and then you've got other pages, like if you want to include testimonials as well. So that is a little about the PDF feature. And I think that's really, I'm going to whiz you through some of these features that you might find useful on the platform, and then we'll talk about promoting the scorecard as well. So we've gone through most of these areas. Under settings, you will find share appearance. So if you put in a title, a description, and an image here, it will control the way it looks once it's shared on social media platforms. So that's a really good thing to do. I'd recommend that you come in and you do that before you start to share your quiz on social media. You have also got this tracking option. So if you're running Facebook ads, if you've set up Google Analytics, if you've got any custom tracking scripts, you can come in and you can paste the codes on this page. And you've also got this integrate. So this is coming away from the builder, but on the blue toolbar, if you select integrate, this shows you the available APIs that you could connect ScoreApp with your CRM system. If your CRM isn't listed, there's a high chance that it's going to be available via Zapier. So if you go to Zapier, you can type in your CRM just to make sure that it connects. But once you've done that, you can push all the information collected, so your lead data, how they answered questions, the scores, across into your CRM, and that will allow you to plan your tailored follow-up sequences. If you haven't got a CRM or you're not planning to use a CRM, then you will also be able to access your leads from this lead area here. So you'll be able to export that from the platform. If you go back to the builder settings and notifications, you can enter your email address here, and then you can, that will notify you every time someone's completed the quiz. So that can be a handy feature. And that is all. And one more thing I want to talk to you about is this Insights tab here. So once you've launched your quiz, if you're using a ScoreApp landing page, this will show you how many visitors have arrived at your landing page. It will then show you how many have started, and that will give you a conversion rate. We'd like to see that conversion rate tracking above 20%. So once you've launched, if you keep an eye on this data, this can give you an indication of how well it's being received, and if it's less than 20%, then it gives you the opportunity to go in there and just make some optimizations. And feel free at any stage to, contact us on support and see if we can offer you any advice as well. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about, and then embedding it on your website. So if you then choose share on the blue left-hand toolbar, this is where you'll find your options for embedding it on your site. So you can do it full page, inline, pop-up, chat style. We have customers that on their website, they might have a banner on their homepage that says, take the quiz. It's the URL for the quiz that sits behind that banner. It may be that you have a button on the nav bar. So there's lots of different options for embedding it on your site. Okay, I think I've covered the main aspects of building a scorecard. Let's move on to talk about promotion, and then we can finish off with some questions. So I'm just going to bring up my slides for a second. And then we can delve back into that. Okay. Sorry, guys. Trying to navigate between screens here with little success. Here we go. Okay, got it. Right. So how to promote your scorecard? Website or having it on your website. So great way of anyone that arrives on your site, it can just provide that hook to have that exchange with you. So that is the key. You can have it on, and this is, we say email signature, anything that basically leaves your office, you can have the link to take the scorecard. And I'll show you an example of how it's been used in the signature here. So you've got your name, your phone number, and then PS, have you taken the key person of influence scorecard? Take the test. We've got the little image and the link there as well. So that's one of the options here. You can, we recommend sending it out to your list if you've got a current list at the moment. So you might have a list of people that haven't engaged with you for a while. That can be a great tool to re-engage them, and direct messaging as well. So anything, on your LinkedIn, you could send out an invitation to take the scorecard as a direct message, for example. Social media is a really great way to share your scorecard, and it could be that you post about it, but you could also include it in all your profile information in your socials, and you can use it as a call to action for other posts. It doesn't have to be necessarily a standalone post about your scorecard. It just could be in the comments, PS, don't forget, if you haven't taken it, take the scorecard. If you do any sort of podcast, video, blogs, then it's a great idea to use the scorecard link to capture, you know, who's listening, who's watching. Podcasts, actually, you could create a scorecard. You can even pause the scorecard, pause the podcast, direct people to take the scorecard, invite them, you know, and it really then engages them that little bit more in your topic. We've got loads of customers who have books, and they've put the scorecard link in the book almost as a next step. You know, now you've read the book, take the scorecard, and you can find out exactly who's reading your book, and start to build your list. We've talked about using them for events or workshops, and joint venture partnerships is a really great idea as well. So if you've got anyone where you can leverage their list, you know, for mutual exchange, could be a great way of sharing your scorecard. They're all organic methods, but you've got your paid for advertising route as well, which you could do. I've got some examples here. So you can see this particular customer, this is the banner. They've got it included in the main banner on their homepage. They've also got it in their nav bar at the bottom to take the scorecard. We've got a post about the scorecard. We've got it in their profile information, and we've got an ad as well, so you can see how it all pieces together there. This one's even a bookmark. The link for the scorecard is included on the bookmark here as well. One of the things that Sarah will share with you in the chat is called 29 different ways to promote your scorecard. And it's a great document. So I've just covered some very top line ones there, but check out that document. It's going to give you loads of great ideas. Okay, so that's the promotion aspect. The follow-up aspect of taking the scorecard, we've talked about once you've collected this data, now you need to convert them into sales. So what we recommend that you do is connect with your CRM, plan tailored sequences. You also may have a team of, or it may be yourself, but you know, you have the opportunity to ask for phone numbers, and it may be that you then follow up, and it makes that conversation much warmer. So if you ring that person and you're, you know, have you got a few moments to discuss the results of your scorecard, as opposed to a really cold intro, you've then got their data in front of you, and you can say, look, we've noticed you've scored really well here. We've also noticed that this area would be a great opportunity for you to grow. We call that the seesaw technique. So you can see here, this is the person that's taken the scorecard. We've got all their questions and answers. We've got the summary of their scores. So it's using that data to create that warm conversation. On the advanced package upwards, you also get this kind of level of data. So these are little donut charts that show how everyone who've answered the scorecard, it shows their answers. So question 1, do you have a business already? So 40% of people that taken this scorecard do. And even these can make great posts in itself, great insight, not only for you to, you know, gather data on what it is that your customers want, what they're struggling with, but to share for marketing purposes and as posts in themselves. So that's also one of the great features that's available. I've realized that I've talked for the whole hour. I'm sorry. So it does leave a few moments for questions. If you do need to go, I appreciate you joining us, and I hope it's been valuable for you. We do have a referral scheme. So if you go to your account, there is a referral link in there, which we'd love you to be part of. Anyone that signs up using your link, you'll receive commission up to 22% of what they spend for 12 months. And we pay that on a quarterly basis to a PayPal account. So if that's of interest, please go and have a look at that area. We've got also our Facebook community, which is a great place to join, sharing your scorecards. There's loads of ideas in there as well. And our support team, we're here to help you. So we've got one-to-one calls, we've got live chat, and we've got our support desk. Just send us a message, anything that we can help with, we will. So anybody got any questions before we finish? Let's have a look. if we've got any questions. Oh, Rich, thank you. I'm glad it was useful. Sarah's posted all the results. Anybody, feel free to take your mic off. Otherwise, we're exactly on time.
Yes, we are, but I'm trying to copy these links right quick. So
Just keep talking.
I'm slow, just keep stalling a little bit. It was a great session, fantastic, very, very informative, and thank you so much. It was, I hadn't gotten started yet, but now I'm going to dig on in here today and tomorrow, because
Brilliant.
this brought it. Sometimes I'm a visual learner, so that helped me, and sometimes it just seems like it's so much. The AI coming at you, different. Everybody's got AI now, and it's so much out there. It's a very rich environment. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. It's great to meet you. And I'm glad this has helped you to get started. Just let us know if you need any help along the way. And I'm just gonna we'll keep it going so you can grab all your links as well that you need to.
I do have a question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Hi. Yeah, when I put the name for my quiz, you said something like maybe you need to keep it generic. So I was thinking, but I work with introverts mainly. So why would I generalize the quiz?
Would it be useful for you to use the quiz as a lead generator, but then use the data to filter out the people that you don't want to work with? Because it's almost could be a way for people to identify whether they're an extrovert or an introvert. So that could be do you feel that a lot of people already know they're an introvert when they work with you?
Yes, quite a few already do that. I guess partly because they come for my workshop, or they follow me through the post where I would put some information, so they're able to kind of check out for themselves.
Yeah.
Because I've got people sending me a message, that's all me, or like that's so me, or something like that. So and the title is actually linked to a program that I'm running. So I guess I wouldn't want people, I want those that are introverted to see it as a resource for them, and then test themselves to know where they are, so they know what they're getting when they also come for the program. So it's something.
I think that makes all the difference. If you've got a program and your quiz is aligned with the program, then absolutely that makes perfect sense. So I would continue forward with your name.
Thank you. Okay, I will give it a go anyway. The other thing is, I guess because I'm not so sure, I was with Sarah and we created one quiz. When I went back, I tried and I created another one. So I guess I could, because I'm just trying to choose, and it makes sense today that you said you can get you can get one for code leads and you can get another for qualifying. So I was just looking at where I'm at and which one I really want to focus on at the moment to create the quiz. And I think that's why I was thinking of creating different quizzes and have a look. I don't know whether that is a waste of energy. I'm not doing the landing pages and everything. I just create the questions and see what outcomes come for people, just to know the value that I want to give.
I think my advice would be, if you have, like, for example, a list at the moment, so it's warmer people, you provide this as a tool that's going to give them some real in-depth, so they already know a little bit about you, they already know that they're in the introvert camp, and it provides some real value to those people, then that would be my focus. You could then almost create a more basic version once you've got that one mastered, which is your sort of lead generation version. So depends which one's your priority. Is it to get those initial leads in, or is it, to sort of provide a tool for your community, I think?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of both, because there are people who are, even though they're warm, introverts drag their feet, don't they? So like, well, I'm introverted, so I'm not trying to insult any introvert, but it's like that's what we do. We
Yeah.
overthink it, we take a step forward and we're like, oh, I don't like people, I don't like noise, then we go back. So I have those kind of people, and they're my people, so lots of hugs, but but I
Oh.
just need to get to move them over. So there is that element of the whole thing where I have lots of people around, but there's the element of, well, maybe I just need new crowds and new people as well, because that energizes you when you have new people. It's kind of like, so it's just that sitting in those spaces that is difficult.
Yeah, well, definitely. I think there's two definite scorecards there. And I think, maybe there is that opportunity to bring new people in, discover if you're in the introvert camp, kind of that kind of, and you filter those new people in, and then once they're in, there's an opportunity to run a campaign that allows them to uncover more about themselves once they know that they're an introvert.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So guys, any other questions before we jump off?
Got those links, so I'm good. Thank you very much, Sarah. All right. And Sarah, you rock. You're the best moderator. Oh man, you're on those answers. I've never seen. I mean, you are essential in any Zoom. Sarah rocks. You're on the point. Thank you.
She definitely rocks. I couldn't do it without her.
Made it all pleasure here. All pleasure. No stress. I mean, on a Tuesday morning. So thank you. Yeah,
oh, thank you, Andrew. It's lovely to have you here. Right. Thank you so much, everybody. Good luck with building your scorecards and launching your scorecards. Stay in touch, and we'll see you soon.